Hey everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino, and it is just going to be lovely today. Seriously, a lot to talk about here on this Thursday, January 31st, 2019. First of all, did you see the 10-year yield today? Fell off the cliff. We are now at 2.65. Well, why would that happen? This is not a safety play. What we're seeing here is, well, a reflection, a direct reflection or reaction to Jay Powell's comments yesterday about how the Federal Reserve, there's not going to be a rate hike in sight. It's just not there anymore. And they're going to continue to print cash out of thin air. Did you see what happened to the dollar? Off of a cliff. Of course, this was very positive for precious metals. People, look, I don't know how to say this another way. If you are not stacking metals in this environment, betting against the debt, becoming your own central bank, you need to seek mental help. That's the truth. I've been explaining to you what feels to me like time immemorial, how all the world's central banks have no choice. They're going to continue to inflate. They're going to continue to suppress interest rates while debts and deficits explode to the upside. That's it. That's the environment we're in. It's so simple to understand. Now, we have another element that's been thrown into the mix here. And you know exactly what it is. I mean, it could not be more in our face. We now have the 6 Wall Street banks that Treasury Secretary Mnuchin met with directly propping up the market. These 6 banks are the same banks that run the Federal Reserve. Okay, it's no secret anymore who runs the Fed. It's these 6 banks. I've named them. I've written articles about it. You know who they are. So, this is not a theory. These are facts. So what can we expect here moving forward? A further disconnect between what the stock market is doing and what our economy is doing. Again, all this easy money that's being poured into the market is extremely stock market positive. There's no doubt about it. However, it's robbing savers blind, keeping the consumer weak. Although, if you were to watch the mainstream financial channels, they gauge the strength of the consumer by their debt load. The more debt, the more indebted a citizen is, the stronger they are. You got to be kidding me. You can't make this up, even if you're in a science fiction movie. But it's the truth. This is what they do. So, speaking of a disconnect between the stock market and the economy, this guy made the front page of Market Watch yet again, and they actually quoted me on that. I'll place a link to that article in the description of this video. I mean, anyone who can't see this is sincerely and absolutely blind. And the other thing I just wanted to get out here, I know this is getting kind of long. This morning, our president again tweeted how, you could take a playback and hit a button. China talks are going well. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. I'll tell you something else you can't make up. Yesterday, when the stock market crossed over 25,000, President Trump tweeted that again. Tremendous news. That was a quote from the president. Tremendous news that the stock market is now over 25,000. You want to talk about a relationship that boggles the mind? It seriously does. It's the President of the United States in bed with Jay Powell and the rest of the crew of the Federal Reserve. They are one and the same. They have melded beyond belief. Anyway, so this is where we're at right now, people. Greater disconnect between the market and the economy. The consumer, the American citizen, is going to be destroyed, losing their purchasing power as debts and deficits continue to explode, as the Fed promises to print more dollars out of thin air. This is it's outrageous. But again, The silence is overwhelming. You will not hear the average person around you saying a darn thing about it because they don't know any better. They've been dumbed down beyond the point where they can think about anything anymore. It's the truth. It's very sad what's happening here in America today and around the world, but mostly here in America. I think sincerely the American people are the dumbest that walk the earth. They have been the most effort has been put into dumbing them down more, I think, than in any other country on the face of the earth here. And it's just disgusting, but that's the way it is. All right, with that said, let's keep our eye on all this stuff. See you at the end of the day.